Hi, lovely viewers, and welcome back to the channel. So, as we know, the biggest moment in pop culture today is the wedding of the queen of pop herself, Britney Spears, to her longtime partner, Sam Asghari. It is a truly joyous moment for the couple, and here is wishing them heartiest congratulations for their union and a long and happy marriage ahead. And this is going to be the focus of today's video, wherein we will analyze the partnership between Britney Spears and Sam Asghari by evaluating their astrological birth charts, and we will also be predicting when can the couple expect their first child together. Stay tuned for a detailed analysis, and please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that I can keep bringing you further interesting astrology content. Before I begin with the marriage or relationship compatibility analysis, I want to first show you guys how cosmically aligned and serendipitous this marriage date really is. And to do that, I will pull up two charts simultaneously, which are the birth chart of Britney Spears and her transit chart for today, based on her planetary placements, which shows us accurately how her wedding date is aligned to her chart. To give you a brief description about the differences between a birth chart and a transit chart, which basically is that the moment you are born, the chart that gets drawn on the basis of your planetary alignments in that moment is your birth chart, and this stays static or basically the same all through your life. Now, where the transit charts come into picture is that it is based on the current planetary movements and transits. We understand and predict how these motions of planets affect you, which shows us effects of such movements on you for a short period of time. And this keeps changing as the planets keep changing signs. Now that you know and understand this concept, let's get back to comparing these charts for Britney Spears. So, we see that in her birth chart, her 7th house lord is Jupiter. That is because in her 7th house of marriage and romantic relationship, the sign of Pisces is present as denoted by the number 12. And the sign of Pisces is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Another significant thing to notice here is that the sign of Jupiter in her natal chart is in the 7th sign of the zodiac, which is Libra, and this sign also symbolizes relationships and marriage. These are the observations we gather from her birth chart. Now, on the right hand side, we see how the planetary movements through the different signs is affecting her. And one concept that you must know about is that the planet of Jupiter or even Mars for a woman's chart is considered to be indicative of her husband, and in her transit chart for today, we clearly see that both of these planets symbolizing husband in a woman's chart have been placed in the 7th house of marriage for her, showing us how this day was such a lucky omen for her to be married on. And furthermore, her 7th house lord Jupiter, which is considered to be one of the most benefic planets in astrology, is literally transiting through her 7th house itself right now, showing us how she was destined to be married at this time. Now, let's move on to the main part of the video where we check the marriage compatibility of Britney Spears and Sam Asghari by analyzing their astrological charts and its planetary placements. We shall start by checking their sun sign compatibility, and for Britney, her sun is in the sign of Scorpio, while Sam has an Aquarius sun. On the surface, these two sun signs are not compatible because Scorpio is a water element sign and Aquarius is an air element sign. These elements in astrology aren't compatible, but there's this hidden concept in astrology wherein the signs of Aquarius and Scorpio are considered to be the most karmic signs, as the nodes of the moon, that is Rahu and Ketu, or the north node and the south node of the moon, co-rule these signs respectively. Also, the planet of karma, which is Saturn, finds these two signs to be one of its most favored positions, and hence this reinforces the karmic link established between these two signs of Scorpio and Aquarius. What this means for Britney and Sam is that they both have some karmic link which brings them together to fulfill their destined journeys. Also, before I discuss other placements, one concept you must know about chart compatibility or synastry is that When your personal planets have the same signs as the partner's personal planets, then that makes for a big thumbs up in case of compatibility and chemistry for a romantic couple, which is something you will see a lot of when it comes to this couple especially. The next placement we will discuss is the moon compatibility between these two charts, and this is where you will understand the concept I explained before. So for Britney, her moon is in Capricorn while Sam has a Scorpio moon. Though these two signs are anyway still compatible as their astrological elements of the earth sign Capricorn and the water sign Scorpio is considered compatible, yet another interesting phenomena happening here is the relation that is being established between Britney's Scorpio Sun and Mercury with Sam's Scorpio Moon, as they are in the same signs. What this tells us about their dynamic is that Sam's emotions are so aligned with Britney's soul, personality, and her communication style that they can actually know what the other person wants even without having to say a word. His moon having the same sign as her sun is one of the greatest positive relations established in chart synastry or compatibility. Now, moving on to comparing their Mercury signs, which shows us their communication styles, we see that Britney has a Scorpio Mercury, while Sam has a Capricorn Mercury. Now, exactly how their natal moons were compatible in these two signs, similarly, their Mercury placements are also compatible by the virtue of being incompatible elements of astrology. But again, another interesting link that we see being formed here is how Sam's Capricorn Mercury is interacting with Britney's Capricorn Moon and Venus. This is such a beautiful alignment, it really brings tears of joy to my eyes. They are very lucky to have this connection be formed because this again demonstrates how Sam's communication style is exactly how Britney feels emotionally fulfilled and romantically satisfied. He knows exactly how to treat her well and to help her emotionally through his words of affirmation. Now, moving on to checking their love language compatibility by comparing their Venus sign placements, we see that Britney has a Capricorn Venus, while Sam has a Pisces Venus. This again forms a harmonious connection as the elements exhibited by these signs, that is the water element by Pisces and the earth element by Capricorn, is very much compatible in astrology. This shows us that Sam's unwavering devotional love to Britney helps him feel stabilized and grounded by her practical loving capabilities. This is a very good, opposing, yet cohesive sign compatibility for Venus. Now, last but certainly not the least is the compatibility of their intimate desires and passions, which can be seen by Mars compatibility in their charts. And this is where we understand how sparks flew immediately between them upon their first meeting itself. So Britney has a Leo Mars, while Sam has an Aquarius Mars. And even though these signs are actually compatible by the virtue of their elements, as Leo is a fire sign and Aquarius is an air sign, which are considered to be compatible elements in astrology, but furthermore, Leo is exactly 180 degrees opposite to the sign of Aquarius, or simply put, it is directly opposite to it. And in astrology, the signs which are opposite to your astrological axis are inherently compatible to you, as they trigger the sign being placed in your 7th house of marriage and partnership. So all in all, the compatibility of the charts of Britney Spears and Sam Asghari is literally legendary and certainly one written in the stars. This is such a cosmically connected couple, totally made for one another. I remember recently reading the news of Britney's unfortunate miscarriage and wanted to see if her chart has any indications about her conceiving their first child together anytime soon. And to see that, I checked her planetary dasha and corroborated it with her birth chart. To briefly explain what a planetary dasha is, it's basically that each planet in your birth chart rules a certain period of your lifespan, wherein its effects based on its placement in your chart will be amplified during these years of your life. So keeping this principle in mind, I checked Britney's current planetary dasha, and she is going through the dasha of the planet Jupiter in her chart. Jupiter is generally called Jivakarka in Vedic astrology, which simply translates to giver of life. This is a great omen for being able to expand your family, which is further solidified for her as Jupiter is placed in the second house of her chart, which symbolizes family. Also, if we check her subplanetary dasha or antardasha, we see that she is currently going through her moon subplanetary dasha, and by the virtue of it being placed in the fifth house of children in her natal chart, certainly holds great significance and probability for her to conceive her child during this period. Also, her next subplanetary dasha is of the planet Mars, which is in the fifth sign of the zodiac, that is Leo, which has similar energies as that of the fifth house of astrology signifying children, which means that she can also conceive during that period. So basically, we are looking at a timeline until almost the end of 2023 in which she can either conceive or even have her first child with her husband, Sam Asghari. Wishing them all the good luck in expanding their love unit and family. And with this, I come to the end of this video. I hope you took some value out of the information and the observations shared. And if so, then please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as your support truly means a lot to make this community of astrology enthusiasts reach a greater number of people. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon with the next video. Until then, take care you all.